What if you wanted to start something new? A new career, new hobby, new business? There's this voice in your mind that keeps telling you you're not good enough, you're not ready yet, what if you fail? And then you talk yourself out of it. That voice is limiting belief. And if you give me the next 5 minutes, I'll tell you how to break them. So, a limiting belief is just a thought, it's limiting your potential. And it's not proof, it's not fact, it's just a story you're telling yourself. It's like an overprotective guard that's trying to keep you safe and for you to not get hurt. But, like, at what cost? You stay stuck, you stay small, and you stay unfulfilled. Now, these limiting beliefs you might have had throughout your life from childhood. They can be because of the criticisms of our parents, of our teachers, of our peers. They can be because of rejections and failures that we have faced in our life. Sometimes there's a cultural and religious angle as well, and they look like money is difficult to make, I'm not a leader, I can't try something new, I always fail when I try something new. This is not something that a person like me does. All these things are limiting beliefs. So, how do we break these limiting beliefs? The first thing we need to do is identify the limiting beliefs. You cannot work on something you cannot see, right? So, oftentimes, a feeling, a belief, when you go for denial, when you try to deny its existence, it stays in the background and it grows even stronger. So, whenever you try to deny some feeling, some limiting belief, you're only giving it more fuel. But when you accept it and identify it, that's when you can finally address it and work on it, right? So, identify exactly what the belief is. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I have a limiting belief I cannot start a YouTube channel. Now I have perfectly identified the limiting belief, right? How do you identify? Watch out for can't statements. I can't do this. I can't start a YouTube channel, for example, right? So, can statements oftentimes are limiting beliefs. Watch out for excuses. I'll do it when I get more experience. I'll do it when I have more money. I'll do it when I have more time. All these excuses are limiting beliefs. Watch out for patterns. A lot of patterns are there because there's a limiting belief behind them. When you try something new and cannot stay consistent with it, that's a pattern, right? So patterns hide limiting beliefs behind them. You're not trying for a promotion, you're not even applying for a new job, that's a pattern. So there's a limiting belief there. And I'm not good enough, I'm not a person that can do this. These sayings, these learnings can be a limiting belief as well. Oftentimes, your surroundings can dictate your limiting beliefs. If a lot of people in your surroundings share the same view, you can imbibe that view as well, and that becomes a limiting belief, right? A lot of times, parents say, um, business is really difficult, so you imbibe that belief as well, right? Your co-workers share a belief, you imbibe that too. So that's some place that limiting beliefs can show up through as well. All right. So now you have identified your limiting belief. You know exactly what it is you want to work on. In our case, I am not good enough or I can't start a YouTube channel is the limiting belief we are working with. So the next step is to challenge the limiting belief. Is this limiting belief true for everyone 100% of the times? It's not, right? Anytime you have a limiting belief, ask yourself, challenge it. Is it true all the time for everyone, anywhere in the world? Would you tell this to your friend? If your friend came to you, would you say the same thing to your friend that you are saying to yourself? Right? Um, are there times when you have proved it wrong? Let's say if you say you cannot do something, are there times you have done it? even though not perfectly, but have you done that, right? So challenge these limiting beliefs. Um, Next step is to reframe the belief. So let's say in our case, our belief is I cannot start a YouTube channel. The reframing of that belief would be I am new to it and I'm getting better with every video. Now, the situation stays the same, but our belief has changed, right? We have reframed the belief. And by reframing, we are giving a positive spin to the circumstance, right? So, reframing helps you stay your course. Um, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to start. That's a sort of reframing too. I am the sort of person that acts even though I'm scared. That's a reframing too. So you can reframe your existing limiting belief in a way that it puts a positive spin on the circumstance and it is action oriented. Okay, so we identify the limiting belief, we challenge it, and we reframe it. Now what? Now we act on the reframed belief. For example, if you have a limiting belief, you're stuck in denial, and you still choose to act, what is happening is you are swimming against the current. Okay? But if you have a limiting belief and you reframe it, and now you act from that new belief, you are empowering that belief. So, if I have a belief I cannot start a YouTube channel and I try to act, I'll be receiving a lot of friction from my belief because that's the sort of identity I have built. But if I reframe myself and I have the belief that I'm getting better with every video I put out, now I have a belief and my actions are complementing this new belief, right? So what happens is I have a positive belief, I'm putting consistent action towards that belief, and when I do that with a reframed belief, the feeling is positive too. So my actions, thoughts, and feeling, all three are working together to empower my reframed belief. Okay? So this is this four-step process, and you act even if you don't want to. You act and you constantly reframe belief and act from that. What this does is it ends the past story you had and it helps you act through the new story. Okay? Now, acting once is not enough. What you need to do is keep a check on the limiting belief over the next few days or a few weeks. Okay? So, limiting beliefs are like weeds in a garden, and you need to tend your garden again and again so that that limiting belief does not sprout again. So, it can be you keeping a journal, you noticing when that limiting belief shows up as well, what you do when that belief shows up, um, how you tackle it, and what you can do is you can have your reframed belief as a morning affirmation. When you wake up, you can have that new belief that you reframed. And for example, I don't need to be perfect, I just need to start. I'm willing to take action. I'm improving every single day. These reframed beliefs are going to give you a boost as soon as you start the day. What you can also do is keep checking on your language, what sort of language you use. If you're using I can't, I shouldn't, I couldn't, what you can do is I choose to. If there is something like it is very difficult, what you can say is it's challenging and exciting. So you are using a language that is positive, action oriented, and is more in your control, you know. So reframe your language, choose how you respond to your thoughts. Also, keep a journal and start writing in it, where you feel the belief came, how you tackled it, what changes you have in your thought processes, how your reframed belief helped you tackle it, and also what small action you can take tomorrow, a new small action that you can take tomorrow to work on your reframed belief to boost it further so that you can prove your new belief to yourself. Okay, Now, here is my spin on the topic. Let's say you do have a limiting belief. I have a friend of mine who was talking to me about this block that she has, and she needs somebody that's a savior that is coming to her and saving her out of her predicament. Okay, now we discussed about it. It stems from her family. She has seen her parents go through it, and that is why she has this complex wherein she needs somebody to come and save her. So I told her that there is a shortcut and a long term strategy that she can use to tackle this belief. Now, your limiting belief is stemming from a place of your ego or your identity. And a shortcut way to deal with that identity is to give in to it. Now, hear me out. Let's say, in my friend's case, she wanted a savior to come and save her. Okay, so anytime she started putting effort on it, that belief would act as a resistance and she would not be able to put more effort in it. But her dad really helped her out over the next, like, over the last few months. Her dad has really helped her out financially, emotionally. So I told her, what if you give in to the belief and you tell yourself that you needed a savior that came to save you, and that is your dad, and you're already saved. Now, as soon as she heard it, she felt like she was actually saved, and that limiting belief stopped having power over her, right? What is your limiting belief, and what can you do in the shortcut to make it go away? Anytime she now has that limiting belief showing up, she's like, I'm already saved. And she came up with, I will be the person that saves myself from my predicament, right? That is completely killing that limiting belief, right? Okay, so long term. Let's say you have a limiting belief that earning money is very difficult. You need something tangible that disproves that belief. Now, let's say earning money is difficult is your limiting belief, but you invest in a bond and it gives you interest every single month. Now, for sure, it won't be a lot of money. Or you put money somewhere else and you get that money without working much. You get like 10 rupees, 50 rupees every month. Not a big deal, but that little amount of money is disproving your belief that earning money is difficult, right? Because it's a proof that you can earn money without lifting a finger. So try to find systems that constantly disprove your limiting belief. Now that you have already addressed what your belief is, it is easy to build a system to disprove it. Okay? What you can also do in long term is actively go out of your way to disprove your belief. Let's say you feel like reaching out to people is difficult. Go out of your way and reach out to new people. Have a friend of yours to accompany you when you reach out to people. Maybe have a mentor that helps you reach out to people, read books about reaching out to new people, and personally go out of your way and prove that belief wrong. That in itself will give a lot of power to the new reframed belief, and in the long term, it will systematically destroy the limiting belief you had. Because now that you see proof of it being false, that limiting belief has no leg to stand on. So, what we learned in this video is what limiting beliefs are, how they grow, where they come from, the 4 steps you can use to tackle those limiting beliefs, which is identify them, challenge them, reframe them, and act on the reframed belief. And my 2 unique twists, a shortcut way to deal with limiting beliefs, and a long term solution wherein you go out of your way to prove your belief wrong by systems and strategies. So that's it for this video. If you like, please like, share, comment. Have a great day. Have a great life. Thank you.